In the top stories, CARICOM youth ambassadors call for greater youth engagement. Haiti violence kills nearly 6,000 in 2025, and teen swims 4 kilometers to save family in Australia. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Monday, 2nd February 2026. I am Jasmine Thomas. First on the local scene. St. Kitts and Nevis CARICOM youth ambassadors Aquanje Robinson and Siobhan Phipps Harding are emphasizing the importance of youth engagement ahead of the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government, which will be held in St. Kitts and Nevis later this month. Speaking ahead of the regional meeting, the youth ambassadors highlighted the significance of the moment for the Caribbean, pointing to global challenges, including geopolitical tensions, economic pressures, and the growing impacts of climate change on small island developing states.
Geopolitical tensions are growing around the world. Economies are threatened as a result. Climate change intensifies and compounds our vulnerabilities, and the community of small island developing states feels the squeeze more and more.
Youth Ambassador Siobhan Phipps Harding said that while the region faces continuing challenges, there is a need for collective action and regional cooperation, particularly among young people. She noted that the upcoming meeting should serve as a call to action for Caribbean youth, encouraging greater participation in shaping the region's future.
It's a call to action that must ring loud, especially in the ears of our beloved Caribbean youth. For as our chairman aptly said, none will come to save us. We must save ourselves.
Youth Ambassador Aquanje Robinson also stressed the role of young people in driving development across the region, saying that Caribbean youth are active contributors to innovation and regional advancement.
We are the innovators of today. That sustainable regional solutions to today's challenging issues must be resilient, and Caribbean youth are the resilience you speak of. We are the innovators of today. That sustainable regional solutions to today's challenging issues must be resilient, and Caribbean youth are the resilience.
Both ambassadors expressed hope that discussions at the upcoming meeting will move beyond the inspirational messages and result in practical policies and initiatives that support youth development, skills training, and sustainable growth. The 50th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government is scheduled to take place from the 24th to the 27th of February 2026 in St. Kitts and Nevis. And 4 men have been sentenced to His Majesty's prison for assault and robbery offences. Tariq Handy of Hullground, Nevis, charged with assault with intent to rob 2 counts and a conspiracy to commit robbery 1 count. Tikwan Pennyfeather of Connery Village and Monkey Hill, St. Kitts, charged with 3 counts of assault with intent to rob. Kennedy Rodriguez of Pine Gardens, Shadwell, has been charged with 3 counts of assault with intent to rob. Lukeli Carmichael of Morning Star, Nevis, is charged with 3 counts of assault with intent to rob. Messrs. Handy, Pennyfeather, and Rodriguez were each sentenced to 9 years imprisonment after being convicted on all counts. Carmichael was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment. The offences were committed on August 20, 2023 at Ram Supermarket on Nevis. The 4 were sentenced on January 30, 2026 at the Nevis Circuit Court by His Lordship Justice Ian Morley KC. And Nevis stood in quiet solidarity on Tuesday, 27th January 2026, as a candlelight vigil was held in honor of the late number 81 Corporal Royston Isaac of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The vigil, organized by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, began at the Charlestown Fire Station and moved in a solemn procession to Charlestown Police Station, where a brief ceremony was held to pay tribute to the fallen officer. The event brought together members of Corporal Isaac's family, fellow police officers, officers of the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services, friends and members of the public, including several who traveled from St. Kitts to pay their respects. Also in attendance were Her Excellency Hailita Liburd, Deputy Governor General for Nevis, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Deputy Premier, and the Honorable Spencer Brand. Their candlelight moments of silence and collective reflection marked a time of remembrance for a man described as more than a police officer, but as a mentor, friend, and dedicated public servant. In a statement, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force thanked the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for their support, saying the strong turnout reflected the respect and admiration held for Corporal Isaac. The force said the vigil was held to honor his life, his service, and the lasting impact he made both within the force and the wider community. Corporal Royston Isaac is remembered for his quiet dedication and commitment to duty, and his legacy, they say, will not be forgotten. On the regional scene, nearly 6,000 people were killed and more than 2,700 injured in Haiti in 2025, according to the United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti, or BINU. The report shows that during the fourth quarter alone, at least 1,523 people were killed and over 800 injured. Deaths and injuries were linked to gang violence, law enforcement operations, vigilante actions, and other security-related incidents. BINU noted that while gangs were unable to expand territorial control in the Port-au-Prince area, they continued to carry out human rights abuses in controlled areas, including targeted killings, kidnappings, extortion, property destruction, and child trafficking. In rural areas, gang attacks against communities intensified, affecting farmers and local economies and increasing humanitarian needs. Vigilante actions accounted for an estimated 6% of killings and injuries. The report also highlighted casualties during law enforcement operations, including airstrikes supported by a foreign private military company, resulting in at least 32 civilian casualties. BINU warned that without a comprehensive security strategy and stronger civilian protection, violence and humanitarian impacts are likely to continue. And the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, officially opened the new parent overnight suite at the Bustamante Hospital for Children on Friday, 30th January, marking a major expansion of family-centered care at Jamaica's premier pediatric facility. The 36-bed suite, constructed at a cost of more than $140 million, provides modern accommodation for parents and guardians whose children require extended hospitalization, allowing them to remain close and play an active role in their care. The project was delivered through a partnership between the National Housing Trust, the National Health Fund, and the Southeast Regional Health Authority. Amenities include restrooms, a kitchenette, a lounge, designated breastfeeding areas, and office space for the suite's manager. In his address, the Prime Minister highlighted Bustamante Hospital as the only specialist pediatric hospital in the English-speaking Caribbean, treating approximately 70,000 patients annually. He noted that parental involvement is critical to a child's recovery, describing families as partners in the healing process. The Prime Minister also acknowledged challenges during the project, including contractor delays, procurement issues, and hurricane damage, but praised healthcare workers and partner agencies for completing the facility. He said the new suite will improve outcomes for both patients and families, enabling parents to rest, support their children, and contribute to faster healing. On the international scene, a 13-year-old boy in Western Australia has been praised for heroism after swimming 4 kilometers to raise the alarm and help rescue his mother and 2 siblings stranded at sea. The family was paddleboarding and kayaking in Geograph Bay near Quindalup on Friday when strong winds pushed their inflatables off course. The teenager attempted to paddle back to shore, but his kayak filled with water, forcing him to swim the remaining distance. According to the Naturalist Volunteer Marine Rescue Group, he swam the first 2 hours with a life jacket before removing it and continuing the next 2 hours without one. Commander Paul Bresland described his efforts as superhuman. The boy raised the alarm by 6 o'clock in the evening local time, sparking a multi-agency search. His mother, a 47-year-old, and his siblings, aged 8 and 12, were located about 14 kilometers offshore by a rescue helicopter and brought safely back to shore. Western Australia Police stressed that the family's life jackets contributed to their survival and paramedics assessed them before they were discharged. The family later visited the Marine Rescue crew to express their gratitude. And finally, on the international scene, Gaza's only border crossing with Egypt reopened partially on Monday morning after Israel closed it nearly 2 years ago, according to an Israeli security official, allowing a small number of Palestinians to enter and leave the war-torn enclave. The European Union is operating the Rafah crossing as the final step of the first phase of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement in Gaza that went into effect in mid-October. The crucial crossing, which has been largely closed since Israel seized it in May 2024, underwent a series of preparations on Sunday from the European Union, Egypt, and other parties that will be involved in running the border crossing. We now take a look at the weather. Present weather across St. Kitts and Nevis is partly cloudy, with skies slight dust haze. Winds southeast at 5 to 12 miles per hour, becoming variable or calm overnight. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. The weather forecast: mostly sunny skies in general. Weather tonight fair to partly cloudy and cool conditions with a 40% or moderate chance of a brief overnight shower. Sunset this evening will be at around 7 minutes past 6, and sunrise tomorrow morning is set for around 6:42. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.